Good morning, wildlings. I got told this morning to come on and channel and draw, do my thing, have a little bit of conversation. So if you come in at any point, just say hi. I'm a Smallbone. I'm a wild healer. I live in the woods of Canada. Oh, that was weird. And I connect with the energy of the planet to channel messages for the collective. It's for everybody, it's for you. If you show up here, it's meant for you. So there may be something in this. One of the main messages that keeps coming through is clean up your own hearth, be still, get quiet, look at what you have to let go of, like financially, physically, all of the things. How can we become more resilient as individuals on this planet? So I'm Emma Smallbone. I am autistic. I'm a wild healer. I'm an intuitive. I do all sorts of work in my community, the wild healing. Part of it is this channeling. I use cannabis to calm my brain so I can hear the messages that come through the universe. And they've been getting louder and louder and louder. And it's getting to the point where I can't not listen to them anymore. And I have to do my work because if you didn't know, we were all put here to do something. I always say it could be making the best fucking coffee, it could be having a puppy, it could be a million different things. But have you ever stopped to listen to what is really in here? I didn't get the opportunity to do that because I didn't even know who I was. I didn't know I had autism until I was 46, which, if you don't know, is a complete and utter like shock to your system. And you have to relearn how your brain works. And that's what I'm doing through allowing my brain to go where it needs to go and not forcing it to do things anymore. I have been able to tune in and realign my brain so I can actually give the information I've always wanted to give, but I didn't really understand how it was coming through until I realized how my brain worked. This is some of the channeled work that I've been doing. So, one of the things that I've always done is I've always been an artist. So hopefully you guys can still hear me. Can you guys still hear me pretty good? But I've never shown the world my art because I didn't think it was good enough. Okay, perfect. So the snake, if you don't know, we are actually in the year of the snake. And the serpent for me has been an incredible healer. I created a course in, I think it was 2018, called The Shedding. And it was based on the idea of shadow work and how when we really look, hi everybody, when we really look at what's holding us back, like truly holding us back, not what we think is holding us back, not what we, you know, society has told us is holding us back, but when we actually look at the root of it all, you can very quickly see where you need to let go of things and where you can actually make radical changes in your life and start to do what you've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to do this work. I'm actually taking a neurobiology course at the University Guelph in my spare time just because I've realized my brain needs way more information. And that when I starve my brain of information and doing this work, I actually lose myself. And if you haven't watched the telepathy tapes yet, or listened to the telepathy tapes, it's a podcast and it's about nonverbal autistics who can communicate via telepathy. And it's really fascinating because that's what I've done my entire life. I just didn't have some words. Yes, Iranian. You know what? I've been talking to somebody in Jordan about a project about rewilding the desert, and it's fascinating. I want to come to your part of the world. Like, I seriously, desperately, I've been to Morocco once, but like my body wants to be in the Middle East. And as we all know, what's that called? It's called a pilgrimage. My body wants to go to sacred sites. And I don't know what's going to come of that. But I remember when I was in Morocco and I had to go stand on the land. And our tour guide was like, "What?" I'm like, "Yes, I just need to stop right here and I need to go and stand on the land." And I kept doing this, and I would go out and I would stand and I would go, "Yeah, that's not it." And I'd get back in the car and everybody was looking at me like, "What is going on?" And I knew that that may be the only opportunity for me to ever do that. So why wouldn't I listen to my body and do what it tells me to do? So on the fifth go of it, not everybody was as excited as I was to go out and stand on the land. So they were all back in the car. And I went and stood in this one spot and I just felt at my core, like, if you're into Kundalini, it's your Mula Band or your root. I just felt this complete and utter tug, and I heard, "It begins now." And when I came back from Morocco, I started doing my lives and I started channeling every single week, every single Thursday. Hey, if your body tells you to drink all day and smoke cigarettes, sometimes that's what you need to do. I smoke pot. It's what my body needs. Right now, that is how your body is surviving. And it's okay. Just don't judge yourself. Just go, "Hey, right now, this is what I need." Oh, I love Greek art. Actually, I just love anything that has to do with ancient history and gods and symbolism, the metaphysics of it. Like, all of our ancestors have gone through what we're about to go through. We're going to question the whole entire world. We're seeing the truth. We're seeing that we truly just live in a feudal system. Hands up if you think we're like living under the overlords. We are. We always have been. And if you thought, where'd my dog go? Hang on. Oh, there you are, Odie. I'm just going to close this. Here, come and say hello. Get ready for cuteness overload. This is Odie. He's my new puppy. He's bringing me some happiness and joy right now. I know, he's adorable. And Freya's down here. She's a bit bigger. Hey, Frey, say hello. Say hi, Freya. Hi, puppies. So see, this is the problem. I get distracted and then I totally forget what I was doing. So my energy right now needs to be doing this. And if I don't do this in the mornings, like yesterday, I had to go grocery shopping. So it totally disrupted my routine, which is get up, make breakfast and lunch for my husband, and then my son, and then I take my son to school with the dogs. We come back, I feed the dogs, I light the fire, I get a smoothie, I do all of these things. I cleaned up my hearth. So I literally swept the ashes off the floor of my house this morning, and I piled the wood and I got my hearth clean. When you start the day with a clean slate, and it's kind of like a reset. I can't remember. I think there's like a German word for it where it's just like you open the windows and you let the air in, and I'm realizing the more that I do that reset in the morning and the more that I allow myself, even if it's just 5 minutes down here channeling with my art, just to get that out, then I can actually concentrate on my schoolwork. If I don't do those things, my brain literally just goes off on tangents all day. And I need to get stuff done. I need to live in humanity right now. Yes, in the summer, I'll probably be out in the woods half of the time, and you will never see me. You will see me in the mornings when I'm in the garden and I'm watering. But the rest of the time, I'm out in the woods and I'm just connecting with the planet, listening to what it needs in our forest. So we talk to the trees here, and we talk to the forest and the mushrooms here, and they tell us what they need. So this year we're planting a whole bunch of different trees that have never been on this property before, that aren't invasive, because our forest, as we walk through it, we can see that there's certain parts that need more deciduous trees, and some of the invasive trees here are actually destroying the landscape, and the soil is becoming incredibly acidic. So as I've been laying with the trees and laying with the mushrooms, I've been noticing these whispers. I've been noticing what the forest has to say. And about 2 weeks ago, it started rumbling again. And to me, that rumbling sounds like a heartbeat. It's almost like a drum beat. I can hear it. And it usually starts around Imbolc, which is the winter solstice, not winter solstice, the spring, no, sorry, equinox. Oh my God, get your words right. It's the equinox. And I think that was about 2-3 weeks ago. And it's like you can literally hear the heartbeat of the earth waking up. And it's like something inside me wakes up and I start to get more clarity. When I listen to that natural rhythm and I go, Emma, it's time to wake up your creativity. It's time to clean up your hearth. When I start hearing those messages, I listen now. I didn't used to. I would just be like, no, I just got to do my regular stuff because I'm a human and I got to do all this stuff. And I was ignoring the part of me that is truly connected, my body. And that's actually why I've been doing art like this, because it's I'm moving, right? It's not just a little piece on a piece of paper. I'm embodying my artwork. When I am moving like this, I can literally feel the energy. And I realized when I was doing my light language that I needed to make big movements to move my energy. I can't just stand there and go, oh, I feel your heart chakra. No, I've got to I'm always moving. It has to be physical. The trees move. Everything moves. Nothing stands still except for our healing stones. They have a place. Please leave them in the ground, people. This one is actually from my property. We have crazy amount of quartz here on the property. I think that's why we're called to heal here in Puslinch. But we're also sitting on a massive gravel pit, which we're never gonna give up. Everybody in Puslinch is selling their property for gravel pits. We will never do that. Because our land is important. Our land is healing. And when you realize you have healing land, you start to realize that if you work with that land and there is a reciprocity with that land, that your healing starts to wake up. And that's what's happened to me. I've really, truly connected my body to the earth. I hear the natural rhythm of the earth in my body. I no longer have to check the books or the apps or anything. It's in my body. I'm just doing ritual when I'm called to do it, and it happens to be the days that are sacred. That is where true rhythm with nature is. When you no longer have to look at the apps, that you're with the understanding of nature. You know why we're getting dumped with snow right now and what is coming and why we're going to need it. So listen to nature. That's all I do. I just whisper. I listen to what the ravens were calling me yesterday. And whenever that happens, I know I have to go back into trance, and I know I have to start doing meditation because they want to talk to me. And sometimes they just come to the house and talk to me. Sometimes I have to travel in my dreams to talk to the ravens. And sometimes they just come and hang out with me by the fire when I'm down in the woods. And we don't control magic. I want you to understand that. We don't control the healing energy. Everybody teaches Reiki and healing in this way of you're moving the energy. No, man. I just show up and I allow the energy in my space and I collect it, and then it goes where it needs to go. I can just see it. We don't control healing energy. And when you start to realize that, and when you just start to listen to the energy instead of trying to direct the energy, everything gets so much easier. The impermanence of everything is just fascinating to me. This impermanence of I think about what I've done with my life and how much I've shifted and changed as a human being. And I mean, frig, go back on my feed on Instagram and you'll see I was a photographer. I was a college professor. I was a medium. I was an author. I've done all of these things within one lifetime. And then you just start to realize anything's possible. And we're the ones limiting ourselves. And when you actually take stock of what you've created in your life and you sit with it for a second and you realize that you got yourself here. Yeah, my life was fucking, I do not want to do it again. Let's just put it that way. But I had to stop thinking I had any control over it. And that's what this is all about. This is us not wanting to face our shadows. We're taking a sword and we're trying to destroy our shadows and be like, yeah, I'm stronger than my shadows. I don't need to face them. They're just going to show up for you in the most painful way possible. And hey, let me tell you, a lot of you didn't do shadow work during COVID and we're repeating something. What are we repeating that happened during COVID? I just, maybe something political. I'm from Canada, by the way, but we're attached to this big thing south of us that really is getting kind of pissy lately. And enough of us didn't do shadow work after COVID. We didn't think about other people. We just went, fuck it. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. Fuck all y'all. How did that turn out for us? It didn't. It didn't turn out well. I'm just going to make that clear for you. If you didn't look at your shit during COVID, you might want to look at it now, because if you don't, we're going to end up in bigger shit. Clean up your own hearth. Clean up your own hearth. It's the only way. Nobody's going to do it for you. You love it. I'm a little ranty today. I will say I have a lot in here. And this is why I need to get these things out, because if I don't, it sticks in my body. And yesterday I had all these pains down my legs, and it's because I'm releasing some of this anger and this rage by actually communicating what I'm feeling. And my body is finally going, fuck yeah, Emma, we like what you're doing here. I work out. I haven't worked out for weeks, which is part of my problem because my legs want to do squat. Well, maybe I should just do some squats here while we're doing this. Oh yeah, that's exactly what my body wants. And I'm refusing to do it because I'm tired, because I'm doing all sorts of stuff right now. And that's the other thing. We ignore I'm ignoring my body right now. Even though there are some things I'm paying attention to, like I have 3 liquids on the go right now. I have a mushroom coffee. I have some water. And I have a smoothie. I have to go. Don't worry though. We'll be here next time. Oh, awesome. Thanks. Please subscribe and like. I really appreciate. Hey, I live in the country. We have all it's taken care of, man. I'm good. But what I'm saying is we all need to look. It's really easy to start shifting the way you're thinking about things. And I saw a post today, and I'm not an alarmist. I don't want to scare anybody, but I saw a post today that said it took 1 month for Hitler to do what he did. When he finally decided to put everybody on the trains and send them to Auschwitz. I can never, there's words. You know what I mean. It took a month. 1 month. We need to start taking care of ourselves so we are prepared for little inconveniences and big inconveniences. And what does that mean in your life? I don't know. You're going to have to look at it. My life is different than your life. I live in the country. I've got land. I've got stuff to take care of and places to go and land to grow food on. But could you start a community garden? Could you use your backyard as the main garden and everybody come and put all the resources in so you're not all doing your own separate gardens and spreading all the work all over the place? Do one garden for 3 households. It will change your life. We have to start thinking like our grandparents. We have to start thinking about rationing and stockpiling the things we need because it will get harder. There is no way this is not going to get harder if the moron down south, the big Cheeto, decides to do what he's doing. And he's going to do it. And okay. That's as far as I'm going to go today with all of that ranty rantness because I can dump a lot and it's overwhelming for people. So I'm going to go back to a little bit of fun painting so I don't turn into the biggest rant person on the face of the planet. Because this is the other thing. I have to learn how to balance the rant because I can get so pulled into that energy that I can't get back to this creative thing. So I'm learning resiliency with this, learning how to express my frustration, but also being in this creative space and not allowing that rantiness to turn into something negative. And if you want to use the big fancy words, I'm transmuting negative energy into positive energy, even though some of the rant may seem a bit. We sometimes need that. We need to change that energy. So if you're feeling angsty, how can you transmute that into something powerful? How can you maybe create some artwork? How could you maybe write something that helps you express some of these feelings? Because if we let these feelings get stuck in our body, we're just going to get angrier. But if we express some of this anger in our artwork, in our feeds, and you don't have to get transmutation, right? You're changing one thing from a different state, from one state to another. So like turning that anger into something positive, turning that frustration into something positive, instead of being stressed about all of this. Why can't we look at this as the biggest challenge of our lives? And how are we going to like come at this and be like, I'm going to survive like my grandparents. Actually, I'm going to thrive because of what my grandparents taught me and what my parents taught me. And yes, there were some things in there that weren't so great, but we know how to survive, Gen X and elder millennials. We've been watching this coming for a very long time. I mean, I've been afraid of World War III since I was born, people. It's like, that's all I ever heard. Like I still remember when Iraq happened and I thought my brother was going to get drafted and have to go to war. That was my teens. I was 16. I was a member of Greenpeace and I went out and protested and like, I've done all that. Let's start a resistance in a different way. Let's start a resistance by getting healthy. So when our medical system collapses, we're actually healthy and we can take care of ourselves. How about, instead of stressing about what people aren't doing, how about we look at what we're not doing? How about we look at what we could be doing, right? Like, how could you be helping right now? There's so many places in our own communities. And they do say there's been studies done that impact locally makes a huge difference on the socioeconomic level globally. So how can you make a difference? Come and join the Wild Healing and find out. We're trying to create change in our own community. And that's by me channeling and sending you some of my amazing energy. If I do say so myself. And that's how I'm giving back. I'm giving back by doing these videos because I'm autistic and I can't go out there and do any of that stuff that I used to do. I can't be the Greenpeace person on top of the, tower, and I can't do that stuff anymore. The way that my body works, it's just not practical, but I can communicate like a son of a bitch, and I can make it entertaining, and I can show you some tools that may help you in your own life. And that's how I'm helping my community. How are you cleaning up your own hearth? How are you supporting yourself and your community? Because we could sit here and bitch all day about what the people out there aren't doing, or we could just make some change for ourselves. That's what I want to do. Make some changes. Look at what you're running from. What is killing your mentality? Why are we not in our bodies? Why are we not like, okay, let's take action? Now is the time for sacred action. Now is the time for sacred rage. And that can happen by growing a garden. That is resistance. Having fun, no matter what. Playing, no matter what, is resistance. Go and dance, go and sing, have joy. Get a puppy. That's what I did. Okay, wildlings, that's my little channel for today. So if you enjoyed anything that you saw, please like this video, please subscribe. I'm gonna try to come on and channel more because like I said, I know this is one of the gifts that I'm supposed to be giving back. And hey, it's good for me and it's good for you. So come and join the Wild Healing at thewildhealing.com and come and be wild and free and learn how to live divergently, because that's what we do, wildlings. Bye for now.